I'm Pamela Scully. I'm a professor of Women's Studies and African Studies at Emory University, and I'm currently chair of the Department of Women's Studies. I'm trained in comparative women's history with an emphasis on Africa, and I came to Emory in 2004. One of the things that really attracted me to Emory was, and this is becoming increasingly so as the graduate school has grown and really thought through a number of issues as to how to support faculty and graduate students, is both the funding that graduate students are given over the summer through competitive and non-competitive grants to go and do research in areas of the world where they probably are going to do work on but need to explore some issues and concepts before they start really committing to a thesis, and I think that's incredibly important. Also the fact that Emory is in partnership with the Carter Center, President Carter's center, which deals with issues of democracy and human rights in the world, gives our graduate students incredible opportunities to learn from leading, human rights activists. The classes here are generally small in graduate education, so one really gets to know one's students. I think one of the key and maybe unique features of Emory graduate education is that it really encourages interdisciplinarity. So in my classes, I do have students from the law school, public health, theology, anthropology, political science, philosophy, and that engenders fantastic debate when you're talking about theoretical issues like human rights or women's rights. And so there's always a sort of exciting tension and creative tension, and not even always a tension in the room, but about how different disciplines approach a topic, and how even when we all in a class dealing with issues of gender, we might come with very different philosophical understandings of what gender is. So I find it an incredibly intellectually exciting place to be in terms of teaching. And really I just learn incredible amounts from my students. And I tell my students that at least some of my classes, these are issues I'm struggling with. I don't have all the answers, but part of doing intellectual work is leaping off the cliff and thinking about where you'll go, and the net might not be the net you thought it would be, but you go really interesting places. And so I think the smallness of the classes, the quality of the students, and the interest that students have in thinking through really important issues, both theoretically and also how they relate to the world, is just makes Emory a wonderful place to be.